Look, I'll be totally honest. My plan was to do 2100 days in the Industrial District and 2200 days starting the Kingdom of the Abon. But things change. I had so much fun with the Industrial District last 100 days that I'm staying put. We're doing another 100 days here in the Industrial District. I plan on building 2 more giant builds. You're gonna love them. I need to love a manufacturing plant, and I need a giant place to house all of my workers here. Let's get busy. So I'm working on a new style here. I'm working on an industrial/medieval style because the people who live here on Fixtopia used to be medieval like only a few months ago. And now the Breath of the Dragon, who is taking over in place of the missing Steve Tepic, is guiding them into the future technologically into the industrial age. There's a lot of stuff that I need to get really working on here. I have a few exposed farms that I need to address, but before we get there, let's work on this. Laying out the farm that is going to cover this warped wood area, I do want to have a tiny little sidewalk that goes down to the dock area. What's the dock area going to be? I have no idea. I don't even have a good plan, but I know someone who's going to be able to help me with that. That's coming not this episode, but the next one. I have a special guest who, don't worry about it. You're going to love it. Don't worry. It's going to be awesome. I think for this first building, I want to start with a clay sort of bottom level and then move up into a different palette for up above. I might do that quite frequently in this style. I think it looks a little better and makes things a little bit more interesting. Did I say clay? I meant mud bricks. Yeah, so mud and mud bricks combination. And yeah, this is the skeletal framework. Now, inside of this, we're not going to be doing all brown. I'll be doing a different color, but I think that the height and size is pretty good. Yes, I like this. It's the right height. It's bigger than the brick factory next door, but not enormously big. I don't want a skyscraper yet. That will come in time, but not yet. I'm still using the Distant Horizons mod, and look at the render. Now I'm over here getting sand, but check this out. In my far away desert, I can still see the Arc Tower and the airship just flying in the horizon. I mean, this mod is the biggest game changer ever. If it worked with Replay mod, I would be a happy boy. You can see the map right here. See the distance? I mean, that is a long way in Minecraft terms, and yet I can still see it. That's so cool. I don't want to exactly copy the exact palette of what I did over in the storage building, but kind of, because the diorite works so great with mud bricks, I'm probably going to use quite a bit of diorite. I added in some concrete powder to this too. I think it helps. Yeah, I need all that sandstone for a reason, and this is the reason. I think it works really well. The sandstone is a nice bridge between the mud and the white. It just looks cool. I like how it's inset, and I like the glass panes a lot. Very nice. I can tell you right now, the side of buildings in the style is going to be real problematic for me because I don't like it. Normally, the sides of buildings in this style seem to be very plain and flat, and that drives me crazy a little bit. But I'm going to go with it, and we'll see what we can do about it. Now, another thing I'm trying my best to do here is make each building reflect what is inside of it, because so far all the buildings are farms or storage of some sort. So this is a warped farm building, so I want to definitely put a warped roof on it. You know, it's going to kind of look a little bit like copper, but it should be different enough that it should look good, and roofs are all different colors. So this is where I can be a little bit more creative than the sides of buildings here. I can really make colorful roofs that are going to make my city pop. I think the smartest thing that I did is when I started this area is by putting a really kick-butt mob farm right here in the middle, because I need all the bone meal. I way underestimated how much warped wood I need for the roof of this. I put down a lot, and yeah, I need a lot more. I'm really happy, though, that I have, I think, all the 2 tall flowers in the game right in this area, because now I can just come over here and bone meal and use it for dye or whatever. Right now, I actually want 2 tall flowers for flower boxes outside the windows. Okay, the current state of the building is pretty good, right? It's kind of like a warehouse on the bottom, but then with apartment living up top. Now, I can't really do a lot of interiors here, because if you look in the windows, you can see how tall this warped tree is. But if I add some balconies and maybe some flower boxes, I think it's really going to help make this place look like people actually live in this building. I'm calling this building done for now. I have a lot more work to do, but this was a lot faster than I thought. I might actually be able to get more than 2 buildings done. I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but so far so good. I'm going to lay up the ground for the next factory and get going. I need a super smelter really bad, so I flew over to the Arc Tower to check out my current super smelter, because I'm going to do the exact same thing just here at spawn. I mean, spawn makes more sense. This is the industrial district after all, and I need to use it a lot. Like, I have a lot of stuff I need to smelt. So I'm flying back, and I have been watching Nerd of the Rings YouTube channel recently, every day. Like, it's just the greatest channel. It's a deep dive into the Tolkien lore of Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth, and all that stuff, and learning so much. And I've just been thinking about world building in my world and how many different kingdoms and different areas I want. I want to show history. Like, yeah, Steve Tepic is building for the future, but before him, there were thousands of years of conflicts, wars, battles, governments, interesting stuff, and I want all that to be documented in this world, and I don't really know how best to go about that. Before I actually build the factory around it, I actually built the super smelter first. I think what I'm going to do this time is do actually 2 super smelters that I think are roughly 32 furnaces long. That way I can use 2 if I have a ton of stuff to smelt, or if I don't have that much stuff, I can just use 1. I also have my lava production going now. Thank goodness I have so much dripstone. Everything is really great. I have like 48 cauldrons that are just going to be basically constantly filled with lava. I should be able to get tons of lava. In fact, actually, iron buckets is going to be more of an issue for me now. Hey, would you look at that? My first lava. Well, that didn't take long at all. Yeah, okay, cool. I think I want this lava factory to be very dark and dreary, kind of like a dirty factory, right? This is the most industrial of the buildings I've built so far, so deep slate seems like the right answer. It's starting to come together. I really like the shape of this. Everything fits well inside. This doesn't need to be a very tall building because everything is basically ground floor. I might do some sort of industrial looking stuff later, but for right now, the shape is good. Yeah, now part of the reason why I need a super smelter is to smelt copper, and well, I'm gonna use copper in this build, so let's get that going. Okay, let's do the first test run officially of this. I'm gonna dump all my copper in and watch this puppy go. Oh man, this is so satisfying. Get ready, get ready. Oh yeah, oh man. Oh man, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, it's so fast. And if you just check the chest, it starts flowing in like it's awesome. This is so awesome. I love the super smelter. I'm gonna go ahead and let this copper age to green, and I know there's a faster way if you put out, I don't care. I'm here all the time. It doesn't matter how long it takes. And yeah, it's just gonna be copper on every roof, using primarily slabs, both to save sort of the expense of how expensive copper is, and also I just think the gradual roof is gonna fit a little bit better with this higher peak sort of wall on the side. I happened to see a zombie villager walk around, so I got him in this area and I trapped him, so he should be good. The problem is I don't have a name tag, and I swear I could not get him to pick up an item. I tried. I threw so many items at him and just nothing. Just walked over all of them. So I looked around for a name tag and I couldn't find one, and unfortunately he despawned. But I did learn my lesson, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I have potions of weakness that are ready to go and golden apples that are ready. I might not keep them on me, but they're gonna be here. So the next time a zombie villager spawns, I can just boom, cure them, and have one of my 2 villagers I need for a breeder. So I decided that I was gonna spend some nights not sleeping like I always do and looking for a zombie villager. So I came out here and yeah, it got a little hairy at times, but luckily I have a pretty good bow, so I could pick things off from a distance and not put myself in too much danger. Unfortunately, no zombie villager. Hey, check this out. This is a sight you don't see very often. Me actually using scaffolding. I just never think to use it. And yeah, I usually use dirt because I'm still living in the past. But yeah, scaffolding. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a really very large window here. And I think I'm going to maybe use red glass to really signify the lava here and just make it look different than the other buildings. I think it should look cool. We'll see whenever I'm done. This is like a 2-for-1 in satisfying Minecraft content. First, you got to see all the furnaces turn on, and then second, you're gonna get to see, oh man, that is a pretty great thing when all the scaffolding breaks. The problem is, it goes all over the place, so I end up having just like use regular blocks to go up and pick up the scaffolding that always hits a ledge inevitably, and yeah, okay, the window looks good though. I think I really like the concept of using the walls as kind of an inset to the windows. The problem is I don't like that I used all of that one, the tile block. So I think what I'm going to do is change that out for a mixture of different blocks, and hopefully it'll good. Good concept, bad block choice, I think. And I spent another rainy night looking for zombie villagers, and again, no luck. I don't know. Maybe it's just not meant to be. Working more back on the factory, I decided to add this little wall, and I think I'm gonna do a lot of retaining walls here. I don't really think gradual elevation changes really work in this style that much. I mean, for a road, sure, but for everywhere that's not a road, I think I'm gonna probably need flat and then retaining wall sort of elevation changes. The other thing I want to concentrate on is making sure that I actually spend time really landscaping every ounce of this place and not just leaving anything sort of the natural terrain of Minecraft. So here I want to bring in a little bit of a nature spot so I can maybe plant some custom trees or garden or something like that, but something that looks like it's been manicured. I can't even believe it, I'm out of deep slate yet again. Back to the mines. But I grabbed some blackstone, and I think the next thing I want to do is start working on some of the scenery, like some of the things that you have outside factories, like cauldrons and pipes and steam pipes and conveyor belts and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think blackstone is really just the perfect thing to build it out of. It gives that sort of semi-medieval, semi-industrial look, just exactly what I'm going for. I actually went back to New Hope to get to my iron farm, and yeah, this is kind of the moment I've been worried about for some time. I am out of iron, maybe at the Ark. Heading back to the Ark, and I don't have a great feeling about this. I'm gonna check, but yeah, I have a feeling I have no iron here. So it's come to this. I'm gonna have to tear down my old beacon under the arcane reception coil just in order to have enough iron to actually build out of and use buckets for my lava. Oh man, I really need to deal with this iron situation again. Like, things like this are perfect use of iron. Like, I'm using actually bars to hold up sort of overhead passageways, which is really great. The reason why, though, I am out of iron is because I don't AFK in this world, and I certainly don't AFK just for, like, an iron farm. So the problem is I'm not in New Hope where my iron farm is anymore, so I really need to build one here just so I have access to a constantly rolling iron farm. I don't know when exactly I'm going to get to that. Using just a wall to sort of separate where this factory ends is really, really helpful. I can see doing a lot of sort of these mini iron bar walls in this area just to keep people out, keep people safe from getting hurt with the industrial stuff. But yeah, it just adds a lot to that feel that I'm looking for. Okay, look, let's start from the top, okay? You need to cut down all these trees to clear space. All of these trees have to go. I'm gonna be here for a very long time. Now it's time to work on some more exterior stuff. I want to make these big sort of cauldrons that maybe hold the lava that's generated in this place. I think I'm just gonna make it out of cobblestone, stone, that kind of stuff. I have a lot of blackstone pipes already, so I don't think I need to over dip on that. I tried this. That doesn't work at all. I just want to have something with bars and cauldrons. Yeah, nope. Okay, this is a lot better. Just have kind of cauldrons like hanging here. I think it makes sense. It works. It just adds some sort of spice to the outside of the factory. I think probably just about the last thing I need for sort of the ground level here is just throw in some blocks, some iron, coal, whatever, just fill it up, make it look like there's some piles here, just, you know, space filler. You know what I'm doing here. You've all played Minecraft before. One of the keys, though, whenever I Google image this time period is all the big factories and buildings, they have these giant signs up on top, and they weren't lit up or LED signs back in these days. Of course, they were just signs on sort of a framework. So I'm just gonna do that, you know? And I know I'm probably gonna get a comment, oh, B-dubs just did that. I know, but I mean, this is the style of the era, right? So I'm gonna do it too. Don't be mad. Another thing I really need is I need netherwort a lot, and I'm not going to be building a netherwort factory yet, but I do want to have a different factory for each material that I'm doing, so I'm just going to lay out a spot where, you know, a netherwort sort of production area will be. Maybe this will be netherwort and brewing, but I think maybe I'll do a separate building for brewing. Maybe this is just netherwort. The big reason why I need netherwort here is because I want to make the word lava as my sign. I want to make it out of red nether brick, and that's pretty expensive, so I need quite a bit of netherwort for it. More blackstone. Oh man, the blackstone grind is real. Finally some crafting and I'm ready to go. Let's make a sign. I was looking at more pictures and these signs all have supports. They all have kind of like, I don't know, it's not fencing obviously, but like some sort of wood structure that kind of goes up to hold it in place, and it sort of goes from the middle of the building up to the edge of the sign. So I'm gonna try to simulate that as best I can just with some Minecraft fences. And I think with that, I think this factory is all good. There's still a couple more maybe detail areas I could do. There's some big flat walls that I want to address, but we're getting close. I added in a couple custom trees here, and I think what I might do is just put a whole row of them just to make it look like they've been planted and manicured. I'll be honest, I sometimes fall into the trap of saying, oh, I'll do the beautification part later and just work on the main builds, and then it's sort of later never comes. So I do want to make sure that I put on the beautification part as we build the place and do some detail work on the outside. Oh, geez. But yeah, I did want to do a streetlight design, and I do plan on having semi-consistent streetlights throughout the entire place. So one of the things I want to do is come up with a design that I really like that's going to stick for a long time, and I do think I have it. I generally sleep through every single night in Minecraft. I sleep all the time, but sometimes it's nice to walk through at nighttime, even without shaders, since I don't really use shaders anymore, and just check out the atmosphere, because it is growing. This area, it's growing atmosphere. I mean, the atmosphere of this place, even inside the factories, it is starting to look so good. I'm starting to really get a feel for the first time, I think, since I started this whole place, that it's really going to be something special. I mean, I have never built in this style before, and just looking at it from far away, oh, it gives you that feeling. It gives you that feeling. It's like, oh yeah, this is going to be a thing. The next thing I want to build is I want to build my first, I'm not sure if I'm going to call it a skyscraper, or maybe a mid-scraper. There's a word for it, mid-tower, like a medium-sized skyscraper here, because I need a place for hundreds of workers to live. These workers are building the city for me in the lore. They keep coming in. So I started building this tower, and I think it's really going to look good. I added some quartz stairs, and look, that may be a decision I end up regretting at some point because quartz is so pricey, but it's going to look really cool.
Gospon Tepic, dođite sa mnom.
What? What's going on? Is it Mr. Grady?
Počinje se buditi.
How is he? Is he conscious? Is his fever broken?
Groznica je uglavnom prošla, ali nikada više neće biti isti.
So, anyway, the Abon tell me that you can hear me even if you can't respond yet. So, let me tell you a story about, well, when I was a little boy. There was a time I was sitting in my spaceship and I looked up and I could not find my parents. I didn't know where they went. And I started to get scared. Then I looked over and I found this old lady just sitting by herself. Now, if I'm really getting into building sort of skyscrapers, I'm going to need a ton of glass, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted the super smelter right here. So I went over to the desert and I grabbed a ton more sand, and now we are set. This thing is super fast. Not ever a place I thought I would really be, but I am out of stone. Like, I have lots of cobblestone, but I am out of smooth stone, so I need to make another new mine, and I want to go down just a little bit where I can get like granite, diorite, and also stone at the same time. Oh, I got the height right, but I am out of quartz, and man, quartz grind. I knew it was going to happen, but I mean, it looks really good. It does help, but I got to go get quartz. These little lines are so good, but at the top I want to do sort of almost like a castle where the quartz sort of sticks out and juts out a little bit before a regular roof. Oh boy, it's a big roof. Off to the nether I go. Don't worry, I won't make you watch. You know, I actually had a close call. I almost died from fire, so I'm going to make a fire res potion, but apparently I don't know the recipe. Here's the thing, I really want to have a good solid path in the nether where I can go get quartz, netherrack, blackstone, whatever I want. So I need this to be sort of my big straight way. You know, my nether spawn is unfortunately a basalt delta, so it kind of stinks. This is really my only option. I actually died in lava. I wasn't paying attention and my fire resist wore out and I died. So I gotta go back and get another totem. After that embarrassing fiasco, I came back with my quartz and I actually had exactly the right amount of quartz. The building looks really, really good. Now I'm gonna be doing some maybe flower boxes or balconies or shades or something, but for right now, it's good. Now, I have exactly 25 days left, and I've already built 3 buildings this episode. I don't plan on building a 4th. Instead, what I want to do is build for the future. I really want to have a fairly flat area. I think this style, as I learn more, needs to be flatter and flatter than I ever really thought before. So I'm going to take some time and really landscape around here, meaning I'm going to do a live stream and just place down a ton of grass blocks. I'm getting closer and closer, but I only have 7 days left after a monstrous live stream of placing grass, and I still am not done. I'm going to try to get as much done as I can, but I mean, let's face it, this is a long-term project. You know, I was watching a Tanisha stream, and honestly, I feel really bad because I don't have time to watch Twitch in my daily schedule very much, and I feel bad about not supporting my friends more than I do. But she showed me this awesome thing. It's a game pause screen. Is that not the coolest thing ever? I have 5 days left, and if I don't sleep, I am going to be able to get, I think, at least a part of this done. I want to make sure I at least put in floor. I would like to do all the floors, but you know, we'll see how much time we have. I mean, obviously, you know, time is of the essence for this episode. I think I need to add a lot of walls. I need to divide this place up. It's just way, way, way too big. So I want to make little rooms that go all the way up to the top. I'm faced with that this is not going to be done this episode, and that's okay. We can start the next episode with it. That's not a big deal. But I wanted to ask you, are you enjoying the lore segments? You know, I know we're building towards a big thing that I don't want to tell you exactly what it's going to be because I want it to roll out all in good time. But if you are, leave me a comment and let me know, yeah, I love the lore, or I'm mostly here for the gameplay. I'm really curious to where you all are at with this. But that's it. You know, I got most of the floors done, some of the walls done, and we're going to call this episode right here after I kill this guy. Hope you're all enjoying the series. 2,300 days is going to be very, very good. I cannot wait to do even more building. I've already done some of it at the time that I'm editing this. If you've been checking out my live streams, I am live streaming Monday through Thursday on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Okay? YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Several different series that you can go check it out. Links will be down in the description of this video. Make sure you follow me in all 3 places so you don't miss anything. I will see you all next time. Stay tuned for the epilogue. You're going to love this one.
No! No! What? What? My arm! What happened to my arm? No! Dude, no! Why? No! Dude, no!